Welcome back to the Aramco Group studio at UTTV. Now, e-cigarettes, I don't know whether you've ever seen one of these being smoked in public. I really wasn't aware of it until it became a huge political issue in a lot of cities in San Diego County and across the country as to whether or not e-cigarettes ought to be regulated just like the regular cigarettes are, where you can smoke them and under what circumstances and so forth because of health hazards, or are they, as proponents suggest, the solution to addiction to cigarettes and much like the patch and so forth. So I have never smoked, so this is kind of be a little bit concerning to me from the standpoint of, okay, how does this affect my life? But if you're a smoker or an ex-smoker, two very different points of view now on the issue of e-cigarettes. First with us is Craig Nabat, and he's got freedomquitsmoking.com.
Yeah, freedomquitsmoking.com. My company is Freedom Laser Therapy.
Freedom Laser Therapy.
Yep.
And you're talking about no e-cigarettes, no nicotine.
Yeah, we don't believe that you use nicotine to quit nicotine.
Don't believe it.
You know, freedom from smoking is freedom from nicotine.
All right, we'll talk about how you do that in a moment. RAMI ABBOUNA is with us as well. He's a retail tobacconist, and you sell the e-cigarettes.
Yes, I do.
And what do you think they are? What are e-cigarettes?
Well, we can actually take it apart from smoking regular tobacco. Now, tobacco has nicotine. Also, there's a lot of other product or fruits or vegetable that has nicotine too, like tomato, potato, eggplant that also has
a natural occurring
nicotine. So tobacco is not the only actually plant that have nicotine in it. So if we take it away from smoking a cigarette, it's not going to work out for us. But people are using it to help to quit smoking cigarettes. And
how does it do that? Because you still have the nicotine in there.
True. There is a lot of chemicals that goes on cigarettes. They say 2/3 of addiction to smoking comes from chemicals that exist in a cigarette.
Somebody told me it's 56 chemicals in a cigarette.
I would believe it.
Yeah.
There is a lot of that. So what I noticed, since actually it's an old product. It's about like 5 years ago when they first came out and it started in Europe. People kind of ignored it at the beginning. It had its moments, so sometimes they sell well, sometimes they die like for a few months. And now picked up a lot.
Does it work, though, to get people to quit smoking?
It did. It did work for people. I have customers who actually quit smoking cigarettes.
But they're smoking these things.
They smoking these things. Now, even that, they quit that too. So they start, for example, they smoke, let's say, any kind of cigarette, full flavored cigarette.
Yeah.
So they showed up, they bought one of those basic devices. There is a lot of different devices.
I want to get back to what those look like in a minute, but let me get back to Craig. So how do you do it? If you don't believe that using nicotine will get you off nicotine or off the addiction to the cigarettes, some people say they have been able to do that though. How do you approach this?
Well, one, that's transference.
Okay.
You know, whether it's we don't even believe in the patch, the gum, the lozenges, because you're transferring your addiction. They have very low success rates. It only takes 72 hours to deplete the body of nicotine. So if someone learns how to properly quit smoking, really after about 10 days, all the toxins are out of their system. They don't need to keep using nicotine product. You know, that's our theory.
So how do you get the nicotine out of somebody's body?
It happens naturally. It happens naturally. Okay. So why would you keep feeding the addiction?
But you've got the addiction. In the meantime, you want to have a cigarette. Those 72 hours or whatever it is, you're going to have a problem.
Sure. Well, we have a clinic where we're using low-level laser therapy to stimulate the acupuncture points that alleviate the withdrawal symptoms, and the sensation can last 3 days, and helping the client through the initial withdrawal process. We also have an at-home system where it's a wearable device that stimulates the acupuncture points. There's a spray that helps to curb it's a homeopathic spray that helps to curb the nicotine cravings. And then
so in effect, you're helping people go cold turkey.
Yep, it's cold turkey and just helping them. There's ways to help them with the physical withdrawal symptoms.
Now, what is your success rate? If you're saying the success rate for the e-cigarette as a method of getting off cigarettes is very low, what's your success rate?
We did a research study, and in our research study for our at-home system, 70% of the subjects quit, and we had 13 people go through the study, and 70% claimed that they quit up to 30 days. And we're going to do longer studies.
Seems to me you've got to make that case because there's a huge industry of patches and the gum and all these nicotine substitutes, which are meant to sort of get you off nicotine by slowly reducing the amount and then I think the theory is after a while your body then will not need, you won't have those withdrawal symptoms because you won't have enough nicotine in your body.
The problem is you get addicted to a certain serum level of nicotine. So if someone's a pack-a-day smoker, they're going to want a pack-a-day worth of nicotine. So actually titrating or dropping the amount of nicotine in your system actually is kind of like a living hell because you're going to be ruminating and thinking about, the entire time. So you're prolonging the agony of quitting when we know in 3 days nicotine leaves the system. So it just, to switch to whether it's the patch, the
Tough
gum.
3 days.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, and I'm speaking from former
smoke.
pack and a half a day smoker.
Pack and a half.
Former pack and a half.
Now, when was that? How long?
We're
ago?
talking about 11 years.
Okay. How did you get off then?
I used low-level laser therapy, and at the time I did not want to quit smoking, but I was literally getting this burning in my chest from smoking cigarettes. I said, enough's enough. This is nonsense. And I tried everything. I tried the patch, tried the gum, wasn't successful. And I'm a proponent, however you can get off smoking, use it. Again, I'm going back to this. The theory doesn't even make sense to switch to nicotine to get off nicotine.
Yeah. All right. Now let's go back to Rami now, because Rami, I want you to show me one of these e-cigarettes and address this issue
Sure.
of transference. Now, in other words, you're using nicotine to get off nicotine, which sounds like it doesn't want to work.
Well, I like his idea, but not everybody can afford to go that route.
Well, let me stop right there. How much does it cost to do that?
In our clinic, we charge $349. In our at-home system, which we have a TV infomercial going out nationwide, it's $14.95. The customer just pays shipping and handling.
$14.95.
$14.95. That's for the shipping and handling. They try it before they buy it. If it works for them, we bill them on the 19th day, $99. And it's also a 30-day money-back guarantee. So they have nothing to lose to even try this. So
Okay, so compared to those numbers,
it's great what he's talking
how
about.
much does this cost?
Yeah, that's about goes between $20 to $30
Okay.
device. Now there is something else beside the nicotine. People actually don't like to be smoking. All the smokers, they want to quit one way or another. They're addicted to nicotine and chemicals. Now, what these devices do, it provide them with nicotine. So what I noticed selling in my shop, people are switching from cigarettes to that. They go for the same level of nicotine that they think compared to a cigarette, and they actually can tell by the back throat hit, the harshness that go on their throat to tell this is the measurement. So it's kind of like a guessing game yet, till the FDA regulate it, and then we'll know exactly how much milligram of nicotine.
So how much nicotine is in this? Let me hold this up so people can see it. How much nicotine is in this?
This is 8 milligram per milliliter nicotine, and there's ingredients on it, and I will tell you the ingredients if you want.
Okay, there's a liquid.
That's a liquid.
A liquid. You put it in here.
Exactly. And there's a battery, and there is if you want to see that, this is what they're all about. A coil has a silica wick, or sometimes they use cotton. That heats up, positive, negative.
Okay.
The battery will heat up the coil.
The battery?
The battery, this piece is the battery.
Oh, the battery.
Okay.
Okay.
And if we separate it, I'm sorry, Roger.
I just want to know how this put
This
together.
is the battery, and that's the clearomizer.
Okay.
And then by pressing the button, it's going to heat up the coil that looks like that on the inside.
Okay.
And then when that heats up, will evaporate the liquid. And then they will take a vapor. It's not a smoke, it's a vapor.
Okay.
Liquid vapor. And the nicotine dissolved in that liquid inside.
So it's water with nicotine dissolved in
it's
it.
It's a propylene glycol USP grade, which is food grade.
So the smoke you see coming out is what?
It's not a smoke, it's a vapor actually.
Okay.
It dissipates really quick in the air.
Okay.
Then
But it doesn't
exactly
contain-
like going in a steam room.
Okay.
And then you add liquid nicotine, or you add a propylene glycol.
So if
or
someone is getting
glycerin.
secondhand smoke, though, are you getting secondhand nicotine?
If the nicotine actually goes up in the air, they probably gonna take some of that.
Okay.
But it's different than cigarettes. Cigarette, there's tobacco, burning tobacco, and that means there is tar, there is smoke, there is carbon monoxide. All of that in a cigarette does not exist in an electronic cigarette.
So, Craig, do you think that this is a hazard? For instance, a lot of city council members in different cities in San Diego County are looking at, is it secondhand smoke? Is it the same hazard to somebody's health who isn't a smoker when you're standing next to a smoker and there's exhaling this?
I don't believe so. The whole thing is they're marking this as it's odorless. There's still an odor. You still smell the flavors. I don't want someone sitting next to me.
Let me try that out.
That's a
Can you
good
fire
point.
this thing
Actually,
up?
he put it there, and I agree with some cities that they actually ban them or they treat them like a cigarette. It's not because the secondhand smoke, but you're sitting in a restaurant and somebody next to you
opens
with
up.
a big device one of those I'm going to show you now, and
Whoa. That's
and
much
he's
bigger.
puffing
It's like
big
a
cloud,
cigar.
and there's
Big
kids. So you know what? I don't like it.
Can you fire this up? We just
Sure.
got a couple of minutes, and I want to see how this thing. Wow, look at that. Well, it looks like cigarette smoke.
So it looks like a smoke, and then you will see
We're
like
going to get
it's
the
gonna
fire
be-
marshal in here in a second. I feel it coming.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
haven't fired up this one yet.
My biggest problem with these, with
No, I'm
these
smelling
products.
it. I'm
Yeah,
smelling it.
you're gonna smell it, which
Yeah.
is probably that would bother other people. But as you see, there is everything.
doesn't
else.
smell like tobacco.
Now, I want to tell you something about it too. People, when they go to that, they go down on nicotine level because they come see this is 8 milligram. They start from 24, and right away within like couple months, I see them going like 24, 16, 8, and 0.
Yeah.
So now what's in here is 0 milligram nicotine. There is no nicotine in here. So they just vaping on pretty much propylene glycol or vegetable
To me, that's
glycerin.
like smoking pot, not getting high.
But people like to see. They
you
like
can
to
tell me
see
that. I don't buy
the
it.
vape. People don't like to quit smoking also, or sometimes the patches doesn't work for them because they want to see something going out.
that's part
like
of
a
the
steam.
addiction, is
That's
this
part of the addiction.
social
and
part.
Exactly, and the habit, they like to puff on it, hold it in their mouth. So that proven like to be really successful. And I noticed like my sales in cigarettes actually dropped down. You know,
As these have gone up.
My biggest
those
problem
gone up,
with this is it's making smoking popular again. You know, I live in Los Angeles, and it was going on a decline, and all of a sudden now it's cool to smoke everywhere.
At the beginning
Vapor
only.
shops, you can go there and smoke these
Yeah,
things.
and the
too.
CDC just reported in 1 year that middle schoolers and high schoolers doubled the rates amount of people that are using these products. So I do believe it's a gateway.
Craig and Rami, thanks so much for coming in. What a great debate. I appreciate it.